Hey, hello, and welcome back. I am Debbie Peterson of Getting to Clarity, and this is another episode of the Getting to Clarity show. This is the place, whether you are new to leadership, you are an aspiring leader, you are looking to up-level in your leadership, that you come to get the tips, tools, and techniques that you need to create more of an impact in your leadership and your life, but with less sacrifice to who you are, your well-being in the process. And today we are talking about cracking the code on goals that really get you results. Okay, so quick question. How many of you have ever set a goal that sounded so right at the time, but then poof, life happens, you get busy, and then that goal just fades into the background? And I think we've all been there. And it's not just you. So here's the thing. The problem isn't the goal itself, but it's how it is structured. So today, we're cracking the code on setting goals that actually stick and get you real results. So let's dive in and make your goals work for you, not against you. All right, why goals fail and how you can fix them. So why do so many of our goals fall flat? Well, honestly, it's because we don't know how to structure them in a way that makes following through easy or realistic. So when you're maybe in a new leadership role, this matters even more because you're not just setting goals for yourself, but you're also setting goals for your team. You are guiding your team toward them too. So let's talk about how to set goals that keep you motivated and keep you moving forward no matter what life throws at you. So the first place I want to go is SMART goals. Now, there's a lot of information about SMART goals on the internet. I'm not going to get deep into it, but I want you to understand them. So let's kick off with a discussion on SMART goals. You've probably heard about them before, but let's talk about why they actually work. So specific. The more specific your goal, the easier it is to follow through. It's like saying, I want to improve my public speaking versus I want to attend a course and practice public speaking. There's a difference. Do you see the difference? That's specific. Measurable. You need a way to track your progress. Otherwise, how do you know if you're doing the right things, if you're going to succeed? So, like, I want to speak in front of an audience 3 times in the next 6 months. Okay, that you can measure. Achievable, and I say actionable too. Your goal should push you a bit, but not be impossible. So if it feels like you are climbing Mount Everest, you're probably more likely to give up. You want to keep it challenging, but you want to keep it also doable. The R is relevant. Make sure that your goal ties into the bigger picture of your leadership journey. Why does that matter? Well, if you lead your team more confidently, if that is the meaning of why it's relevant, then that ties into your leadership goals. And then finally, T, time bound. Every goal needs to have a deadline, a specific date, because one day and someday never come and there is always a tomorrow. So whether it's 3 months, 6 months, a year, having a timeline with a due date helps to keep you accountable. And I remember setting a SMART goal for my business to become a more confident presenter. I said, if I'm going to speak in front of a live audience, then I want to do that 3 times in the next 6 months. And let me tell you, having that clear deadline helped keep me motivated because I knew exactly what I had to do and when I had to do it, when I had to deliver. So there's no procrastinating. I wouldn't be where I am today without that very small goal I set so many years ago. Now, I want to introduce another concept to you. It's a mouthful. It is the NLP Well-Formedness Conditions. Okay? This can be the secret sauce that helps your SMART goals to be even better. Because SMART goals are great, but sometimes you need a little extra layer to really lock them in. And that's where the NLP Well-Formedness Conditions come in. This is a framework, and it helps work with your brain, not against it. And it makes your goals feel more real and achievable. So what are the NLP Well-Formedness Conditions? Glad you asked. These are conditions that focus on having goals that understand how your mind interacts with them. So let's break it down. They are stated in the positive. So instead of focusing on what you don't want, like, I don't want to be nervous during public speaking, you want to flip it and say, instead, I want to feel confident and prepared when I speak. Your brain responds way better to that positive framing. It needs to be within your control. What does that mean? So focus on what you can control. So you can control how often you practice, but you can't control how people are going to react to your presentation. So keep your goals centered on what is well within your hands. Specific and sensory based. Make sure your goals are as vivid as possible. So imagine yourself standing on stage, hearing your own voice, feeling that confidence, because the more real it is in your mind, the more likely you are to achieve it. And then finally, an ecology check. So think about the impact on your life. Is this goal good for you, good for your career, your relationships, your well-being? Because if it throws everything else out of balance, it is time to rethink your goal. Now, what resources do you already have? Maybe you've got feedback from a past presentation or a leadership training. Don't start from scratch when you're creating a goal. You want to build on what you already have in hand, what is already in your toolkit. Now, who needs to hear this? If you are a new or an emerging leader, this framework is for you. It helps you to create active steps to be able to get to where you want to go. So whether you're trying to improve your leadership skills or just grow in your career, setting the right kind of goals is key. So imagine you're a new manager and you're struggling to lead your team meetings with confidence. Maybe you're a little nervous. And instead of a vague goal like, okay, I want to be better at meetings, you could say, I will lead 3 team meetings in the next 3 months where we end with clear next steps and I receive positive feedback from at least 2 team members. See how much more focused that is? So how do you start doing this? So now that you've got the tools, here's how you can start setting goals that stick. Step number 1, choose a goal that excites you, something you can feel good about. Something that matters to you, something that'll keep you motivated even when it gets tough. Step number 2, apply SMART goals and NLP Well-Formedness Conditions to your goal. So use this SMART framework to make your goal clear and actionable, and then layer on the NLP conditions to make it even more positive, sensory rich, and within your control. Step number 3, write it down and take the first step. Writing your goal down makes it real. Then you're going to take one small action toward it. If your goal is to lead better team meetings, then your first step could be drafting the agenda for your next team meeting. So, here's my challenge to you in the next 48 hours. Write down one goal using the SMART goal and NLP Well-Formedness Conditions frameworks. Use them both and make it specific, time-bound, and something that you can control. Then you're going to take that first step towards making it happen. And trust me, once you have this system locked in, you have cracked the code, and you will see how much easier it is to stay motivated and get real results. So thanks for hanging out with me today, and remember, the right kind of goals make all the difference. So please get out there, start setting the ones that'll lead you to succeed. I'm Debbie Peterson of Debbie Peterson Speaks, and here is wishing you all the clarity that you deserve to make the impact that you desire. Take care, and bye-bye for now.